Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Minions: The Rise of Gru. Let's get into it. So the Minions: The Rise of Gru is directed by Kyle Balder, screenplay by Matthew Fogel, story by Brian Lynch and Matthew Fogel, produced by Chris Maledranji, Janet Healy and Chris Rendod, edited by Claire Dodson. Music by Hita Pereira, and production companies is Illumination, distributed by Universal Pictures, and released 13th of June 2022 at the Agency Animation Film Festival, 30th of June 2022 in New Zealand, and the 1st of July in the US. The runtime of this movie is 88 minutes, so around an hour and 28 minutes. The budget for this movie in New Zealand is $124 in New Zealand dollars, but in the US it's 76 million USD, which is United States dollars. Box office made so far, as I've written this, which was yesterday, $14 million worldwide. The genre of this is an action, animation, comedy, adventure, science fiction, and a family film. And the rating in New Zealand is a PG for violence. In the US it is a PG for action / violence and rude humour. Plot. In the heart of 1970s, amidst a flurry of feathered hair and flared jeans, Gru, played by Steve Carell, is growing up in the suburbs, a fanboy of a supervillain supergroup known as the Vicious Six. Gru hatches a plan to become evil enough to join them. Luckily, he gets some making backup from his loyal followers, the Minions. Together, Kevin, Stuart, and Bob, and Otto, a new Minion sporting braces in a desperate need to please, deploy their skills as they are. The new skills as they and Gru build their first lair. Experiment with their first weapons and pull off their first mission. When the Vicious Six oust their legendary fighter Wild Knuckles, played by Alan Arkin, Gru interviews to become their newest member. It doesn't go well, to say the least, and only gets worse after Gru outsmarts them and suddenly finds himself the mortal enemy of the apex of evil. On the run, Gru will turn to an unlikely source of guidance, Wild Knuckles, and discover that even bad guys need a little help from their friends. So that's the plot. The voice cast, we have is it Priya Coffin? So if I mispronounce that name, he plays Kevin, Stuart, Bob, Otto, and the rest of the Minions. Steve Carell is Gru. Tarja P. Henson is Bella Bottom. Michelle Yeoh is Master Chow. RZA is the biker. Jean-Claude Van Damme is Jean-Claude. Lucy Lawless is Nunchuck. Dolph Lundgren is Severance. Danny Trejo is Stronghold. Russell Brand is Dr. Nefario. Julia Andrew is Gru's mother, and Alan Arkin is Wild Knuckles. Production. In January 2017, Universal Pictures and Illumination announced a sequel to their animated film, Minions. The film began production in July 2017, with Brad Alberstein added as a co-director. In May 2019, the film's title was revealed as Minions: The Rise of Gru. Reception. In the United States and Canada, Minions: Rise of Gru was initially projected to gross around $70 to $80 million from 4,400 theatres over its 4-day opening weekend. After making $10.8 million from Thursday previews, the best for an animated film among the pandemic and of the Despicable Me franchise, estimates were raised to $90 to $100 million. The film opened in Australia a week before the US release, debuting to $3.7 million and finishing second behind fellow newcomer Elvis. Critical response. On review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, the film got a 70%, with 103 critics' reviews are positive, with the average rating of 6.2 out of 10. The website's consensus reads, "The Minions' antic shenanigans begins to grate despite the sequel injection of retro chick. Although this learning marathon of gags, we still delight young children." Metacritic which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score out of 56 out of 100, based on 36 critics indicating mixed or average reviews. Johnny Olskleen from the New York Post rated the film a 3 out of 4 stars, stating that while a tad too late, as these films often are, nobody is making animated characters as funny or likable or marketable as the Minions. Sarah Pong from Boston Globe gave the film a 2.5 out of 4. That's what she said. The movie is fun. The music is unironically good. A particular standout in the Minions' redemption of Simon and Garfunkel's Celia. Bob, as cute as ever, learns that even the smallest of us are capable of great things. Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian rated the film a 2 out of 5 stars, rating the plot as perfunctory. It runs on the faintest of fumes. Now I'm into my thoughts. Let's get into the good. Okay, this movie was good. I enjoyed my time with this movie. I think the movie showed me a compelling story, which I was so happy with. The humor is bearable, and the minions were always going to be the focus of this movie, obviously. But the inclusion of Gru is by far the best decision made with this movie. His origins in this movie was good in this movie, and how he forms a relationship with his villainous idol that turned out to be a genuine and sweet subplot. And then the first Minion movie was a sloppy mess because of the narrative, and then this movie was good. So that's another good thing about this movie. One element of this movie that I loved is the Minions was like the classic Looney Tunes. It had like a classic Looney Tunes feel, which I really digged. On to the bad/disappointing. I think this movie does have some problems with this movie. Like the Kung Fu storyline is random and honestly feels like they were just trying to fill the time in. And I don't think the Minions should have their own movies, because for the first one, it didn't work for me. I do wish that the overall story was more creative, and I do think the runtime of this movie was a bit too short for me, and could have been a bit longer to stretch out the character development in some characters, because I think that some characters didn't have enough development to enjoy the character of who they portrayed. Final thoughts. Okay, this was a good movie. I think the movie will be a good family flick for kids. They will have a blast. But for me, I just think this was good. It does have a few problems in this movie that are very disappointing for me. But yeah, I still had a fun enough time to say it was a good movie. For my score for this movie, I'm going to be giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. Percentage, I'm going to be giving it a 64%. Grade, I'm going to be giving it a C minus. And I think I'll be giving it a 6.4 out of 10. Thank you for watching my review for Minions, Rise of Gru. Yeah, if you've seen it, what were your thoughts? Comment down below. There'll be videos on the screen right there. Like, share, comment. Like I said, comment your thoughts of this movie down below with my podcast. Please listen to it. There'll be a massive help. And subscribe. Also subscribe. That'll be a massive help. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.